Ángel Zárraga was a celebrated Mexican painter whose work bridged the traditional and modernist movements in early 20th century art. Zárraga's life and art reflected his intellectual curiosity and a deep engagement with global artistic currents, while remaining profoundly rooted in his Mexican heritage. His story begins in the culturally rich environment of late 19th century Durango, Mexico, where he was born into a well-educated and supportive family. From an early age, Zárraga displayed a keen interest in art and literature. His parents, recognizing his talent, encouraged his creative pursuits, fostering an environment where intellectual exploration was prioritized. Zárraga attended the National Preparatory School in Mexico City, a hub for progressive ideas and artistic ferment at the time. Here he was exposed to the works of Mexican muralists and European painters, sparking a lifelong fascination with the interplay between cultural identity and universal artistic themes. Zárraga's early artistic education took place in Mexico City, where he studied at the prestigious Academy of San Carlos. The academy, deeply rooted in academic traditions, provided Zárraga with a strong foundation in classical techniques. However, he was equally drawn to the revolutionary artistic movements emerging in Europe, which emphasized experimentation and breaking with convention. In 1904, Zárraga moved to Paris, a city that was then the epicenter of avant-garde art. This period marked a turning point in his development as an artist. Immersing himself in the vibrant cultural scene, Zárraga studied the works of modernist painters such as Cézanne, Gauguin, and Picasso. He was particularly inspired by the Symbolist movement, which sought to express deeper emotional and spiritual truths through evocative imagery. These influences began to inform his own style, characterized by a blend of realism and abstraction that explored metaphysical themes. Zárraga's early years in Paris were marked by both struggle and artistic growth. Like many expatriates, he faced financial hardships but found solace in his craft. His work during this period often depicted intimate, contemplative scenes, emphasizing the human figure as a vehicle for emotional and symbolic expression. By the 1910s, Zárraga had begun to develop a distinctive artistic voice that blended his Mexican heritage with European modernist techniques. He became known for his mastery of fresco and oil painting, as well as for his exploration of themes such as religion, mythology, and the human condition. His Catholic upbringing and intellectual leanings often inspired works imbued with spiritual and philosophical depth. During this time, Zárraga gained recognition for his ability to portray the human form with a sculptural quality, a skill honed through meticulous study of anatomy and classical sculpture. His paintings often featured robust, almost monumental figures, emphasizing strength and vitality. At the same time, his use of light and color created an ethereal quality, lending his works a dreamlike atmosphere. Although Zárraga spent much of his life abroad, he maintained strong ties to his Mexican identity. This connection became increasingly important as he matured, particularly as Mexico underwent significant social and political upheavals during the Mexican Revolution, 1910 to 1920. The revolution spurred a renaissance in Mexican art, with artists like Diego Rivera and José Clemente Orozco drawing on indigenous traditions and nationalist themes. While Zárraga's work was less overtly political, he shared a commitment to exploring the cultural roots of his homeland. His paintings often featured Mexican motifs and reflected an awareness of the country's historical and spiritual legacy. This fusion of Mexican and European influences would come to define his artistic legacy, as he sought to bridge the gap between tradition and innovation. By the 1920s, Ángel Zárraga had established himself as a prominent figure in the international art world. His ability to synthesize diverse influences into a cohesive and deeply personal vision set him apart from his contemporaries. In the 1920s and 1930s, Ángel Zárraga solidified his reputation as a painter of immense technical skill and intellectual depth. Having spent much of his early career in Europe, Zárraga continued to live and work abroad, though he remained deeply connected to Mexico's cultural and artistic renaissance. His mature period was marked by a refinement of his style, thematic complexity, and increasing recognition in both Europe and his homeland. By the 1920s, Zárraga had become an established figure in Paris's art scene. His paintings gained widespread attention for their unique fusion of classical techniques with modernist sensibilities. He often worked on large-scale projects, including frescoes, which allowed him to experiment with monumental compositions. Zárraga's frescoes in Parisian institutions, such as the Cité Universitaire, showcased his ability to merge symbolism with architectural elements, reinforcing his reputation as a master of integrated art. During this time, his work took on a more introspective quality. Zárraga explored themes of spirituality, human relationships, and the tension between tradition and modernity. His figures, often monumental in scale and imbued with a sense of timelessness, reflected his belief in the enduring power of art to convey universal truths. A devout Catholic, Zárraga frequently drew upon religious themes in his work, though his approach was far from conventional. His paintings often portrayed biblical narratives and saints with a modern sensibility, emphasizing their humanity and relevance to contemporary life. This ability to reinterpret traditional religious iconography in innovative ways resonated with audiences and further distinguished him from his peers. In addition to his religious works, Zárraga explored broader symbolic themes, drawing on mythology, literature, and philosophy. His paintings often conveyed a sense of introspection and spiritual searching, reflecting his belief in art as a means of understanding the human condition. Although Zárraga had spent decades abroad, he returned to Mexico in the 1930s, eager to contribute to the country's vibrant cultural scene. Mexico at the time was experiencing a resurgence of national identity, with artists such as Diego Rivera, David Alfaro Siqueiros, and José Clemente Orozco leading the muralist movement. While Zárraga's style differed significantly from the politically charged works of these contemporaries, his return was marked by a renewed engagement with Mexican themes and a desire to explore the spiritual and historical dimensions of his homeland. Zárraga's later works reflected a deep connection to Mexico's cultural heritage. He painted frescoes in public buildings, churches, and private spaces, contributing to the country's artistic renaissance. His ability to integrate Mexican motifs with European techniques set him apart, showcasing his unique perspective as both an expatriate and a native son. Zárraga's later years were marked by personal and professional challenges. The shifting political landscape in Europe during World War II forced him to leave Paris and return to Mexico permanently. Despite the upheaval, he continued to produce significant works, though his health began to decline. In his final years, Zárraga focused on smaller, more introspective pieces, reflecting his enduring passion for art and his evolving perspective on life. He died in 1946, leaving behind a rich body of work that spanned multiple genres and themes. Ángel Zárraga's contributions to modern art are both profound and multifaceted. His ability to synthesize Mexican and European influences created a body of work that was at once deeply personal and universally resonant. While he may not have achieved the same level of fame as some of his contemporaries, his influence on both Mexican and global art is undeniable. Zárraga's work has been celebrated for its technical excellence, emotional depth, and intellectual rigor. His exploration of spirituality, identity, and human connection continues to inspire new generations of artists. Today, his paintings are housed in major collections around the world, serving as a testament to his enduring legacy as one of Mexico's most significant modernist painters. In bridging the worlds of tradition and innovation, Ángel Zárraga carved out a unique place in the history of art. His life and work remain a powerful reminder of the capacity of art to transcend boundaries and speak to the universal human experience.